If you're a social media manager and you still think AI is just a content generator, well, let me tell you, you are already 5 steps behind. AI is transforming our industry and the way we do social media management, not just how we create content, but how we plan, strategize, schedule at scale. Now, AI is not here to replace you as a social media manager, but it's here to make you 10 times more valuable when used correctly, with emphasis on correctly. Hey, my name is Milou and I own a $500,000 social media marketing agency, and I now help social media managers like yourself do the same. If you're an aspiring, high-paid social media manager, then don't forget to grab my free guides. And let's dive in. The first way AI is changing social media management is that money loves speed. Now, we all know that clients love to get things quickly and get a lot of work done and fast. But you may have heard of the saying, pick two out of good, fast, and cheap. Now, the thing with AI is we can actually speed up our work and still remain at quality work. And this means that if you leverage AI correctly and can produce more content faster, then you can make a lot more money. Now, the thing with that is too that you can no longer get away with providing social media packages that have 3 posts a week and charge thousands of dollars for it. Now, the reason being is that there's a certain expectation now, especially because platforms are getting more saturated because AI is so accessible, and I will get into that later on. But there is so much more content out there, and that also means that clients and you, on behalf of clients, have to create more content for them to stand out at a high quality. Now, there are plenty of AI tools I've gone over in a different video that show you exactly how you can create more content fast. To name some of my favorites is Opus AI, that actually auto-generates my YouTube videos whenever I upload them into reels and snippets, so I can pull them directly from the app and upload them to Instagram to show you guys a little preview of my new video. That is just one simple example on how it's getting easier and faster to apply these AI tools and have a better output for clients. Of course, we don't want this to come at the cost of quality, but once you get very handy, if you're someone who knows how to leverage correctly, you will stand out from anyone else, especially where we're headed in the next couple of years. Now, that brings me to the next point, is that with AI in the mix, with social media management, you have to cut through the noise. Now, you may have noticed that it's become so accessible and easy for anyone to now post on social media. Now, if you're like me, you can probably spot a ChatGPT caption or post from a mile away. So it's not to say that it's better and it's good when people do that and show up, but they are contributing to the noise. So they still have people reading their content, they're still adding more content to the feeds, the social media feeds, and so even for beginners, they can now actually show up and create content at scale because of these AI tools. So this means for you as a social media manager, on behalf of your clients, you gotta get more strategic. You really need to have skin in the game to stand out from the people that are just generating AI generated content, whether it's captions, copywriting, creatives, and not even knowing what they're doing. I won't say that this is good and they will get ahead of you at all, because if you have the skill set, there's no way for them to stand out or compete with you. But again, they are contributing to the social feeds, which is making it more saturated and means there's generally more competition for attention. So here's what I typically always say when it comes to AI. AI is going to enhance what's already there. It's kind of similar to money. I always say that money will add and contribute to what's already there. If you're unhappy, you make a lot of money, you're probably going to be unhappier, and vice versa. And so the thing with AI is, if you have no clue how to write and now AI does everything for you, this is actually making you lazier and not a better writer. The thing is, I love using AI tools when knowing what I'm actually looking for. It's like having that intern that I can guide and say, hey, you need to tweak this. And sometimes it gets it wrong too. And so if you're someone who doesn't have a skill set, who cannot even know what to look for, this is actually not a good thing. And I do think it really makes people lazier and it stops them from the critical thinking aspect, which is so freaking important, especially if you want to stand out and become that high paid social media manager. Now, with AI in social media management, creative roles and responsibilities are heavily shifting. And I've even noticed it and felt in the last couple of years what I'm hiring for, what I'm not outsourcing anymore, or how it has shifted roles. So just to give some example, a lot of research is involved in social media management in general. Now, a lot of research can actually be done by AI by doing the research for you and doing it 10 times faster than a human being would. So in those aspects, it's great because I wouldn't outsource that to a human being because AI can do it way faster and better. Now, that doesn't mean that they will now replace their job. It just shifts their roles and responsibilities. So instead, I genuinely believe that creatives like ourselves as social media managers, it allows us to be more creative because we don't have to spend a ton of time on tedious tasks, on research and things like that. But instead, we can strategize more and get more creative so that we spend our human capabilities and time where we should. Just to give you an example, if you hate analyzing data or you're not even quite sure how or where to start, you can literally give data to ChatGPT and ask it to analyze data for you. Now you, as a strategist, can make strategic decisions based on the analytics AI provided you and make better creative content. So you see how this is working hand in hand and how it's not replacing, but instead it's enhancing your job and making you more valuable while you work hand in hand if you know how to use it correctly. Now, that brings me to my next point, because clients are getting savvier, and that means your skill set really needs to stand out. Now, I almost feel like social media managers, the term itself is too generic, and really soon we will only have social media strategists. The thing is, you still need that strategy skill set to be able to apply the things you need to see actual results on social media. So if you're only a social media manager who doesn't have those skill sets or specialize in a certain skill set like strategy, design, email, whatever it may be, you are going to have a really hard time to position yourself. And so this is actually something I do teach inside of the Elite Social Society, where I recommend members to position yourself with a unique value proposition. Because if you don't have that unique proposition and value within the industry, in the market, especially with AI, you are really going to blend in because many AI tools could actually replace what you're doing at that point. And so it's really, really important to continue to invest in your skill set, learn in order to stand out, especially because there's so much noise and everyone think they can do your job. Now, very last but not least, probably the most important point, so I hope you stay all the way till the end, is that ethical use of AI is becoming more and more important. This is still a very controversial topic, crazy enough, because there's such a great area around AI, using AI, what's ethical, what's not. What's so important is that you still have your unique skill set that we just talked about, that you can apply and tweak it enough to where it is original, right? So you cannot be copy and pasting from AI because that is going to have a really bad look and potentially be plagiarism. Now, if we're looking at creative assets and tools, this is where I recommend Adobe Firefly. So Adobe actually does not plagiarize or scrape from the internet to really protect creators like ourselves to not plagiarize each other's content, to not scrape ideas or put together AI models that make use of other people's work. So this is one of the things that become more important, and I notice I get these questions more often in discovery calls from clients as well. And in my agency, we've actually implemented an AI policy so that our clients know that copy is never fully written by AI. It's only there to enhance our productivity and creativity, but it will never replace a human being taking care of their work. And so having that combination is extremely powerful, but you cannot just rely on one one or the other in the coming near future when it comes to social media management. Now, that wraps up my in-depth thoughts when it comes to AI, social media management, and where we're heading in the next few years. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and if you are getting comments from clients, objections, or how you are seeing this shift in the industry. So make sure you comment below and subscribe, so I will see you in next week's video.